Hello, how you guys out there doing? If you're tuning in today, want to just first say thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule to listen to this quick overview demo of the digital waitlist system. This particular waitlist system is going to be designed for a wireless retail store. We're going to use At&t today as the wireless carrier. And as you see on the main screen here, this is what the program would look like, the interface for all the retail stores. And initially when logging in, you would just put in your password. Each store would get a password and you would hit submit. And it's going to take you into the actual waitlist manager, self-service kiosk, waitlist sign-in, web check-ins, and the mobile home, as you see here on the screen. For today's demonstration, we're going to actually focus in on the waitlist manager. And before I go into the presentation, I want to just first kind of just touch base on the purpose and the reason behind this. At&t, as a corporate company, they already have a system in place. I know that they use, which is a queue, a way for customers when they enter the retail store to check in, and it pretty much puts them in line and in order so they can be serviced as they come into the retail store. At&t also has adopted a way for a small population of the customers each day to also make an appointment. So they already were kind of leaning and going towards this particular type of service. But what we've come up with is just a different approach and try to just really focus in on how to make it a even better experience. And so that's kind of why we're going over this presentation today. We want to share this idea, this concept, which we feel will definitely help drive in more traffic and also help to create a better customer experience. That's the whole end goal. We always want to figure out how can we enhance, how can we make things better. Being a former employee of At&t, I had the privilege of working there, an awesome company to work for. And I was always able to just kind of observe and being, I guess, at the front line of the customer service, as a representative of the company, I would be able to kind of see areas that could be tweaked a little bit. And so knowing At&t, they're all about right fitting the customer. They're all about how can we make it a better customer experience. And I know they even do surveys after each transaction because they want that feedback. They want to make sure the customers are completely satisfied, which helps with giving them the best experience that they can have. So this is kind of pretty much tying into that. I think as you kind of watch and see the presentation, it'll make more sense to you on what we're trying to accomplish with this waitlist system. Okay. So I'm going to just go through it and, show you how it works. So we're going to go ahead and sign on with the waitlist manager. And this is pretty much what it's going to look like if a customer were to walk in the store and maybe you have a SSR or a representative that's going to get them on the list. OK, so they would be able to go in and you can see here how many reps we have on the sales floor at that time. I think we have about 7 people. Shows that all reps are available. And if I click on add customer, a customer could come in, type in their name. We'll just say John, and we'll give them a last name of, Anderson, just making something up real quick. They would type in their phone number and they have the option to put an email in if they want. Then you can see who's available, how long it would be before someone could, be able to be serviced. They hit continue, and then they're able to pick whatever rep they want to come in if they want to see someone specifically, or if they just want to go with the first available person. We'll pick Mr. Mike Horner right here. So you click his name, and it shows what services he's going to help out with. Say they want to come in and do a new account. So they maybe want to come over, switch from Sprint or Verizon. They want to switch to At&t, and you hit submit. And then the customer, now they're added to the queue. They get a text message letting them know that they are been added. They have been added to the wait list. And then they'll get a text message when they're next. So let's just add a couple more people. Let's say we got several customers that are coming through the door. And as I'm typing names in, you'll kind of get the general idea how it works. Let's do a different, all right. Click on a different name. Okay, let's add maybe one more person on it. All right, and another name. And we'll do... So you kind of get a gist of how it works. So we added the names onto the list. So whenever you're ready to actually take a customer, you would then go in and hit the phone button to notify them. So now let's say, just for pretend purposes, we have a store right now of maybe, let's say 15, 16 different guests. So the store is pretty packed. There's a lot of people in there and people are kind of waiting or whatnot. So what would happen as each customer is getting ready to be next up, you're going to go ahead and notify them. So let's say I've been in the store maybe for, let's say 15, 20 minutes, and I am just getting serviced. Well, the next person up would be John. So they're going to let John know, hey, you're next. Go ahead and make your way back in, or if you're out running errands or whatever it is, because you're going to be the next person. So once you get into the store, by the time you get there, you're getting ready to be helped. OK, now, unlike the appointments, which are really good that they're already implementing that service, it only limits a certain amount of customers to be able to do that. Where with the wait list, they'll be able to actually put every customer on here. So it gives everyone that same experience, but you're not necessarily losing out on customers, either walking out or not really, having the time or patience to wait and be serviced. And it allows you to really focus in and give each customer the attention that they deserve. All right. So now let's say I want to go ahead and take the customer. So if I'm Mike Horner, I'm getting ready to take the customer. I'll hit the little check mark up here. I will assign them to me, which I'm Mike Horner. All right. Let's see here. Okay, and so now I'm serving that customer, and it shows approximately there's a 45-minute time frame attached to that service of maybe getting a new line. And you can customize those time frames to whatever time frame you want to, modify those for. So that's pretty much the gist of how it works. So let's say if I want to customize each service, I can go in here. If I click the name of the actual rep, and I just came up with a couple simple service examples. But if I wanted to even add, let's say, I think at one time they had Digital Life, which was a alarm or security system. I can add something else like that in there. And I can just give an approximate time frame. These don't have to be right spot on, but it gives you an average time frame of how long something, should take. And the way that we're going to implement this system is that as the next customer as you're taking a customer, you're letting the next customer know to already be heading in. So that way they're not sitting there and just waiting for an entire sales transaction to take place, where they could be maybe at home or handling other business and then be able to come in right around the time frame that they're getting to be, serviced, if that makes sense. So let me go ahead and plug a time frame in. I don't know, say 25, 30 minutes or something like that. So you can go in and kind of just add them as you see fit and update. So that's pretty much the gist of it. This database also works as a marketing tool. It also allows you to view different reports. So it helps with collecting data, customers' information, If you want to run promotions, if you want to follow back up with customers, as a sales representative, I'm sorry, that was just a huge thing to be able to do, is to be able to follow up with your customer base and help grow your customer base. So you can go in there and run different reports. You can run it for specific reps, or you can run it for the entire store if need be. All right, so that's pretty much how that portion of it works. On the other end, you actually allow customers to actually sign in to the waitlist system as well whenever they're not actually in the store. So this is where it gets really amazing here, where instead of customers having to walk in, they can also sign in from any remote location. And that's kind of really the difference maker between what At&t is currently using and what I feel could really be a game changer for them. Once again, not like the appointments where maybe there's 7 or 8 appointments for the entire day. This is giving you the ability to attract a lot of those customers that were going to be coming to the store. Maybe, they came in, they waited. And if you also think about, there's not a lot of sitting room or a seating area. So sometimes it get very crowded and overpopulated in the stores. But with a system like this, it would allow for each customer to kind of come in one, I guess around their time frame and not just overcrowd the store and whatnot. And then it would allow you as a store manager or a store in general to kind of know, how many new lines are going to be coming in, how many upgrades to expect. You kind of already have a general idea. You could actually open this list up the moment that you open the store up, and then customers could automatically start adding themselves to the queue. And so this is kind of a general idea what that would look like. They can go in, they can see how long it would be. If they want a specific rep, they can see how long that rep is going to be, already servicing other customers. They have ability to put different messages or different promotions. You can market and promote whatever you have going on at your specific, retail store to help drive in, additional sales and customers. You can see how many people are currently waiting in line, and then you can just simply click join the wait list. They can type in their number. And essentially do the same thing that they would do normally in the store. They could do it from wherever they're at. Then it gives them approximately a time frame on how long it would be before they need to arrive in the store. They can confirm or, show that they're not able to get there. But if they can, they can say, yes, I'm on my way. They get the same text message. Boom. And it works simply just like that. Now, you also have the ability to turn the web check-ins on and off. So if your store is at a point where, maybe you get ready to close for the day, you're not really trying to take any more additional customers outside of people walking in through the door at that particular time, you can turn the system off and on. That way you're not being overwhelmed or you're getting a lot of people to sign in at the last minute. So that's just a general overview of how it works. And give me your thoughts, your feedback, and we'll go from there. Thank you.